evening, everyone. This is Adonis Benegas, the Executive Director at Concilio. Welcome to Socially Connected. As always, we have our co-host and co-partner in services for Concilio, Janessa Rivera. How you doing, Janessa?
Good evening, everybody. I am here again co hosting for our fourth episode. Very, very excited.
Yeah, before we got on, now that we are in our fourth episode, we feel like we're seasoned professionals. And I was saying that we need to have like a theme song as we come in. So as we get better with these shows, we'll have some more creativity and activity involved in how we present this great information. So today, following a theme of events and topics that we want to address is volunteerism. And we have some really great guests in our lineup today. But one of the reasons why it was important for Concilio to talk about volunteerism is because a lot of our work historically and up until pre-pandemic really relied on the work and effort of volunteers. Everything from having hundreds of people volunteer at Hispanic Fiesta to the Puerto Rican Parade, but even through our programs and having interns and after-school students and work study students and corporations dedicating a day of service to help our community through Concilio has been a key component of why we've been so successful in the work that we do. So it was important for us to recognize that it being January and us recently celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Day and the Day of Service that we brought this topic up. So here we are. So Janessa, Volunteer Day. What does that mean to you?
Volunteer Day. So, as you mentioned, January, Martin Luther King Day, which is the day of service, volunteering means everything to me. I do it professionally, we do it personally. So, volunteering is giving back to your community, whatever you identify as your community. I have my at home community, I have my at work community, and it's just giving either time or donation of goods that you may have, whatever you have in abundance, whether it's energy, time, information, or actual goods to the community, volunteering your special skill, right? That could be just being a friendly face and being a greeter. That could be extra food that you have in your pantry, the clothes that don't fit in your closet anymore and you're trying to get rid of. So to me, volunteering is a slew of things that you can do in your community. No deed is too small, and you don't need to be rich to be able to volunteer. Everyone has a thing that they can give to the community for free, right? So if it's for free, it's for me. That's my model. So I know volunteering is great. Me and my kids do it all the time, and we as an agency, Concilio, we volunteer tons. With the community, we partner a lot, and we need a lot of volunteers. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to talk to two other important staples in the community that do a lot of volunteering. Because, like you said, we volunteer and we also recruit volunteers. So this would be a really, really good episode to talk to some of our volunteering partners.
Yep. And I'm glad you mentioned that volunteer is not just about donating time, because I know that there's a lot of goodwill and good intentioned people that will love to, maybe distribute food or participate in a day of service, but because of family time, work, it just isn't there. But the fact that you mentioned that volunteering can also be donating goods, donating clothes, it's another great way and another great outlet to support our community where there's such a need right now, especially as we're still dealing with the pandemic and people are out of work and people are looking for resources in the community. Any little bit that you can do support is greatly appreciated, and people definitely do take advantage of those resources when they do become available. And it's our job, right, to make sure that people are aware of what those resources are in the community. So I want to, at this moment, bring in our first guest. Mr. Pablo Mateo. He's representing Townwatch, and he's going to share some great information about what the city is doing regarding Townwatch, and then obviously talking about what people can do during the pandemic. Right, we're not meeting regularly. We're not sitting in meetings face to face or congregating together in large groups, but there's still a lot of great things that people can do individually in their own neighborhoods and be actively involved in making sure that we're taking care of our communities, taking care of our streets, and taking care of our block. So at this point, I'd like to welcome Mr. Pablo Mateo to the show. How you
Good
doing, sir?
evening. I'm great. How about yourself?
Very good, very good. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we appreciate you spending a little bit of time to talk about what you do. So why don't you just jump into it and give us kind of a brief overview of what the Town Watch initiative is?
Okay, well, we have under Townwatch Integrated Services, we have three main initiatives. Excuse me. The first one I'm going to talk about is our Safe Corridor program. A Safe Corridor program is volunteers that we put together. We give them a training and we have them stand outside of the school for at least an hour in the morning or an hour in the afternoon, just to keep an eye on the kids and make sure that they get to school and get home safely. Our second one is our Eyes and Ears Town Watch. Our Eyes and Ears Town Watch is getting community together and providing them with the information that they can use to help secure their neighborhood, their blocks, their neighborhoods, their communities. And with the patrolling Town Watch, is basically the same thing, but except you're patrolling around your neighborhood.
Great. And if somebody was interested in signing up or getting more information, how can they go about doing that?
Well, they can call our office at 215-686-1459, or they can reach me in my email, which is Pablo, Pablo, Mateo, Mateo, @phila.gov.
So if I'm somebody who's like, okay, I can do the hour in the morning and watch the kids there, what do I need? What kind of training do I need? What kind of background do I need? Do I need to have any kind of skill set to do this?
No, you don't need any skill sets. We'll provide a training. The training takes about an hour to an hour and a half. We'll show you what to look out for, what to report, who to report to. We'll go over the 911 system so that you know exactly what to say when you call 911.
Great. And what about the other programs you were mentioning? Can you give us a little bit just more detail about what that means walking around? I know some people may be hesitant even in their own neighborhood walking around, right? And then
Right,
the whole mentality of snitching, right? Is this a snitch? Is this somebody who's walking around who's going to tell on me because I'm in the corner?
right. Well, what we usually do, we'll try to start a group open with an eyes and ears. An eyes and ears, nobody has to know you're doing it. The only people that knows that you're doing it are the people in your group, and of course, us. And all you're doing is doing the same thing that you normally do in the morning when you walk out your door. What's the first thing you do? You look out your front door, you look to the left, you look to the right to make sure, it's cool for you to come outside.
Well, I check my back seat too. That's like an old habit.
But
Me too.
that's a
Me
good thing.
too.
That's a
I
good
turn the
thing.
light on and look back.
That's a good thing. And that's all we do is we'll train you to first thing what to look for. So you may see a group of guys on the corner. What first thing you want to do is let us know, or when you call 911, what time of day are they out there? What are they wearing? Are there any distinguishing marks? How many people are out there? And the thing is, if they're out there all the time, and let's just say they're usually out there 8 a.m. in the morning to maybe 1 o'clock. Some people will say they're out there all day long.
Mhm.
Okay, so what days are they out there all day long? Because sometimes they're out there, 7 days a week. Sometimes they're out there 3, 4, 5 days a week. Because drug dealers need their rest too.
Right.
Um,
Now
so
that's a good point you bring up with the drug dealers. Like, if you grow up in a neighborhood in Philly, 9 times out of 10, you know who's doing what, right?
yes,
So, how do you kind of address that point where you still, if you're doing this in a volunteer effort, you still are gonna feel safe, that you're gonna be protected? Is there a relationship with the local police district, and do they know about these people doing this?
most of the times they do. But the thing is, if people don't call 911 and report these things, then they don't know. You have to
Right.
let, a lot of people are scared to call 911, and there's no reason for them to be scared. They're talking to an operator. The operator is giving them, all you're doing is giving them the information that they need. That's it. You're not going out there, you're not taking pictures, you're not putting yourself in any jeopardy. So that's why I say the eyes and ears is the safest way.
Right.
And then once we get your community cleaned up and the drug dealers aren't out there like that anymore, and if you want to start a patrolling, then we'll start a patrolling.
Pablo, I have a question. So I know
Yes.
anyone can volunteer, but I would say in our community, especially like Adonis says, the motto, snitches get stitches. And so it's so hard to get the young kids wanting to do this and make it a routine. So when they're adults, because as adults, we understand we need an extra level of protection in our community because we're there all the time, right? By the time the police come, It might, so many things could happen in those 5 minutes. So do you guys have a special initiative specifically with the youth where you kind of have them being, like block captains, or kind of like, in schools where they have safety patrol and crossing guards? Or do you do anything specifically with the youth so it makes it cool when they're young, so that when they're older, they will feel more inclined and more normalized to themselves engage in their local town watch?
Yes, we have a junior town watch, which is similar to the
Awesome.
junior block captains. But in order for us to develop a junior town watch, you have to have an eyes and ears or patrolling town watch already developed.
Great.
And what
Are these things still going on during the pandemic? Are the trainings going on? Are people still doing the town watch during this time?
Yes, the trainings are still going on. We're doing personal trainings. We're not doing anything on Zoom because we want to make sure that you capture all the information when we do it face to face. When we do it on Zoom, you can't tell that somebody's not paying attention, somebody's not walking away. So we'd rather do it person to person, and we'll do something either at a church, a rec center, a community, one of those community, a community residence house, wherever we can get people together, as long as there's enough space to social distance.
And this is a citywide initiative, right? It's not just in one particular neighborhood, right? You can be anywhere in the city, and this opportunity is there for them.
Yes, it's citywide. We have everyone is divided by police districts. So, for example, I have the 6th, the 9th, the 24th, 25th, and 26th police districts. I do all the trainings. I reach out to all my town watch groups, all of my safe quarter groups, and I keep in contact with them. So just in case something new comes up, I'll be able to feed them the information.
Yeah. And as you mentioned that, definitely shout out to the police districts that are out there. We understand and realize that we're living in a world that there's been a lot of social injustice that takes place. And for every one negative or bad cop there's out there, there's 100 that are good cops doing the right thing and are part of their community and are there for them. So, when you mentioned earlier, don't be afraid to call 911. That's real. Like, we need people to understand that change cannot be made if we're not partnering with our local police districts, not being afraid of them, but looking at them as a resource and an ally in our neighborhoods. And, we always try to point out who's not doing something, but it starts with us, right? And I think that's the basis of volunteering. If you want to be heard, if you want something different to happen, you got to raise your hand, right? You got to say presente. You got to be there and be willing to make that commitment so that you can start seeing that change in your neighborhood. We all have pride of where we're from, but at the same time, we're not doing enough to make change, to make things different, to make things better. And for us, and the work that we do is about making impact and addressing it and educating our youth and our families to do that. So I thank you so much for the conversation. Is there anything else you wanna highlight?
Yes, I just wanted to let everyone know that when I do the trainings, I always invite either the captain or the community relations officer to sit in on the training, just in case they have any input that they want to give to the people that are being trained. Also, we try to develop a relationship between community and police, so that way you don't feel uncomfortable when a police officer is walking down the street. Don't be afraid to say hi. Don't be afraid to even offer them a bottle of water, because they're constantly, especially the footbeat, they're constantly walking back and forth. So try to develop that relationship, and don't be afraid. They're there to help you. They're not there to hurt you.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that too, because just like any other job, they have their routine, they have their route. So if you become familiar with the police in your route, you can get to know their names, you can get to know them, and they'll also be looking out a little bit more for you, because they know that you can trust them, right, and vice versa.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, but Pablo, I wanna thank you so much for your time. Janessa, you have any outgoing questions for Pablo?
No, I think that my question struck a nerve because I was kicked out. Big Brother kicked me out when I asked the whole, about the block captain. I said, so you know what? Let me limit my questions. The Town Watch people must have a lot of bugs going on. So no, I appreciate everything, and I'm sure people, if they have questions, they will be reaching out to you, because we'll make sure to have your contact is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and so I'm sure you'll get flooded with questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And again, thank you, Pablo. This is something that you can do in your own community, in your own block, and just start organizing, right? It's that simple. So reach out to Pablo and his team. You see the number and the email right there, and get started with your own Townwatch. So thanks again, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So moving forward, Pablo was talking to us about Townwatch, and there's many different ways to volunteer. That is one way to volunteer for your community and keeping your neighborhood safe. But as you mentioned, some people might not be comfortable doing that quite yet. So there are other opportunities to volunteer. And now our second guest is coming from the Mayor's Office of Civic Engagement and Volunteering Service. It's housed with the Mayor's Office of Public Engagement. And their mission is to reduce barriers, increase knowledge, and expand capacity to promote active participation amongst Philadelphians, right? So who said good things doesn't happen in Philadelphia? We have tons of great things happening in Philadelphia. So from that office, we have Daisy Rodriguez. She will be joining us. Hey, Daisy.
Hey, Daisy.
You're on mute, Daisy. We want to hear your voice, your lovely voice. So while she gets that together, Daisy is the Volunteer Partnership Coordinator at the Mayor's Office of Civic Engagement and Volunteer Services. Let's hear your beautiful voice, Daisy.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone.
Hi, how are you? So, Daisy, for the people who may not know, what exactly, we have a fancy title. I told everybody where you're from, but what exactly does that mean? And what exactly do you guys do there in the Mayor's Office of Civic Engagement and Volunteer Service?
Yeah, we have a big name and a big mission as well. The Mayor's Office of Civic Engagement and Volunteer Service helps residents make positive change in their communities across the entire city of Philadelphia. So we work to reduce barriers, like you explained before, and expand capacity for participation. One of the ways to reduce barriers to participation is through our Mayor's Volunteer Corps portal. So we have a portal. We think of it as our one-stop shop for volunteers. And the Mayor's Volunteer Corps portal connects Philadelphians to high quality and rewarding service opportunities. The portal has opportunities listed across the city with our nonprofits and other organizations and city departments partners, and ones that you can do even from home virtually. And I encourage everyone to visit, creating an account and find opportunities.
So Daisy, tell me, who can volunteer? Who can go into the portal? Kids, adults, senior citizens, anybody? Is it only for Philadelphians? Can you live like me? I'm on the other side of the bridge. Can I sign up but volunteer in Philadelphia?
Yes, we accept and welcome any person with any background, and we have opportunities that welcome any ages as well. So right now, for example, we have opportunities hosting food services, like helping food pantries, packing, food deliveries to homebound individuals, serving food, giving food boxes to residents, clothing distributions, cleanups, neighborhood and parks, welcome new immigrants and refugees to the city, which is like opportunity that a family can do, visit, wait and expecting a family that going to arrive in the airport and say hello. So kids are welcome to join this kind of opportunity, hosting activity nights virtually, gardening and farming, including opportunities for children as well. We have opportunities for education, so opportunities for reading coaches, facilitators, for workshops teaching girls. So not just, not just opportunities that children and young adults can serve, but opportunities that serve youth and young adults, like the opportunities of Townwatch. And we have paid volunteer opportunities as well, where volunteers can help with research centers and so much more. So for every single person, the portal is open. They only need to creating an account and found out their cause to volunteer.
As I mentioned, I love volunteering, and I really encourage everybody to volunteer. But you mentioned paid volunteering. So even if you don't want to volunteer for free, volunteer and get paid for your community at the least, right? So you mentioned so many programs and so many different things that people can do and volunteering. Could you tell us the most popular volunteer item? What is the one thing that everybody wants to do when it comes to volunteering?
Well, it's very popular. Food services is very, very popular. We know for the city began to feel the impact of COVID-19. So volunteers were designating essential personnel as their support was crucial for ensuring residents could access essential services like food pantry, like food support. And we have so many volunteers that jump in and serve our communities in those moments of crisis. And also it's getting very popular, virtual volunteers, because you are home, and you can still serve.
Explain, what would be an example of virtual volunteering? So is that like tutoring, or what would be virtual volunteering for those who are like, you know what, I want to volunteer, but I also want to stay safe. So how do they blend the two?
Yeah, we have opportunities for skilled volunteers to help like organizations to develop social media strategies. We have volunteers opportunities that you can help with bingo nights in Zoom, presentations, even volunteers that could outreach other volunteers, like engage other volunteers, represent their organizations, and be the ones that training and that invite community members to volunteer with their communities.
Do you have, I know you mentioned that there's a lot of volunteering that was needed and is needed during COVID. Do you have a particular area? You mentioned the popular form of volunteering or the most popular volunteering type. Is there a segment where you realize, you know what, we need more volunteers, and this is a challenge or a barrier, an area of challenge or barrier where we would like more volunteers?
It's being a challenge for many organizations who engage volunteers right now because of the restrictions and because of the situation we are living. But specifically, we have a lot of food services volunteers. So I would love to see more diversity and like opportunities for youth as well, young adults to volunteer. Most of the time, people have that narrow vision of volunteering being for seniors, people who are retired. And no, volunteer can be so much more than that. You can volunteer and actually build your resume. So we can offer opportunities for volunteers to engage in operational, administrative functions in the organizations. So we need to broaden this perspective of how engage volunteers with our communities and see that people can develop skills. Like you said before, you not only donate time, you donate talent, you donate your gifts, you donate your knowledge. So we need to expand this way to think in volunteerism in the city of Philadelphia. So it's so much way to expand yet.
You guys are doing an amazing job over there in the mayor's office of civic engagement and volunteer service. We heard so much in a mouthful already. Is there anything that you want before you leave? Is there anything that you want to let us know, or any events coming up, or anything that you want to, plant the seed right now?
Yeah, we have an upcoming event, and we actually are looking for nominations. Nominations going to end now, January 31st, for our Mayor's Day of Recognition Award, where we celebrating volunteers in Philadelphia. We have 4 categories. So we're still looking for nominations. So please, if you know any friend, any relative, volunteers for your organization, family members who does a spectacular job serving this city, let us know. We want to hear from you, and we want to celebrating them. The event itself is in April.
Okay, so you heard it here, guys. So Daisy gave you the inside scoop. The event is in April, and you can put in your vote now for all those people you see in your community that do selfless work and they don't get enough appreciation. It's time to give them their flowers while they can still smell it. So go ahead and contact Daisy at or contact the department at volunteer@phila.gov, and I'm sure you can get the information to put in your votes that way. Thank you so much, Daisy, for being part of our episode. And we hope that you have a big event. We hope you get tons of nominations. And hopefully, some of our staff at Concilio are getting nominated for our volunteer efforts that we do.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thank you so much, Daisy. And that's how
Wow.
quickly 25 minutes go by. We had tons of information shared, two great guests that were able to bring awareness to things that have been going on for a long time, right? But still, it's still new information to a lot of people. So definitely want to thank Pablo and Daisy for sharing their expertise. As Concilio always does, we continually have events and activities going on. So we have some things going on even this week. Somebody posted a comment about, are we still doing COVID testing? We've been having a great partnership with the Philadelphia Department of Health's mobile COVID testing unit. They are coming to our parking lot every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. No registration required. You just pull up into our parking lot and get in line and get tested. Results are given back as quickly as 2 days. And it's no fuss going to CVS or Rite Aid. It's right there. It's free and it's for you. So please take advantage of that opportunity. And I know, Janessa, we have another big event going on tomorrow.
Yes, we do. So our gracious partners and collaborators, Patriots Home Care, so they have donated some food, and at our offices, we will be doing a food giveaway. So we have 200 boxes, first come, first serve, and it starts at 1 o'clock. It will be at our facilities, 141 East Hunting Park. And we will be there with Patriots giving out this food, as like I said, first come, first serve. And at this point, we've done so many drive-through events. It's easy for us to get 300, 400, 500 people coming in. So I know those 200 boxes are going to go quick. So I ask everyone, if you need, or if you think someone in your community or family needs, share the information and come out, be there early so you can get that, as well as even though this isn't an event, but we still are registering for our virtual after school program. We have that going on right now. We know that the kids are getting tired with remote learning. So we have remixed what after school programming looks like. We're doing it virtually. We create baskets and kits, and we are dropping off or coordinating pickup with parents and the students so that they have the activities with them. So, they can actually be hands-on and interactive. We do things like Fitness Fridays, and all of the items, all of the accessories, and all of the supplies are handed to them a week in advance. So we have lots of vacancies. We still have spots left that you can sign up. The information is right there. And as we're closing this up, Adonis, you asked me, what does volunteering means to me as the executive director of Concilio and having these two great guests that volunteer. What does volunteering mean to you?
It's for me, it's always been about giving back, about thinking about your community and what you can do to improve it. And it's something that has been ingrained in me growing up, having parents come from another country and just realizing all the opportunities that this country has for us. And when you are in a place where you can give back, and that doesn't mean financially, right? It can mean anything that you want it to mean, but it's just making sure that you're lifting that person up next to you, and that can mean so many different things. So I really do love the work that we do, and it's not work if you enjoy what you're doing. But outside of that, we find so many different things that we can give back and help out, so that we can build an environment that people feel empowered, feel like they can be trusted upon in one another, and build back that unity that this country is known for and has been successful in for so many years, and makes people feel comfortable about coming back here and being here. So that's our goal, that's our motto, and we appreciate our partners, we appreciate the work that's being done in the community, and we continue to use this outlet as a way to let people know what's going on.
Yeah, and that's such a great segue to say for all of those that are interested in what Concilio has going on and are interested in investing and giving back to Concilio, please feel free to go ahead and donate if possible. We accept donations via Cash App at $Concilio, CONCILIO, and it's going to be scrolling. As well as you can go to our website, www.elconcilio.net/donate if you feel you have a giving heart to donate so we can continue to volunteer and meet our mission. And as we wrap on up, this is our 4th episode. Monthly, we have these great platforms and these 30 minutes to talk live with our community. We do it the 4th Thursday of every month. So next month, February 25th, we will be back again, Adonis and I, with additional special guests, TBD, to be determined, to be announced, from 6 to 6:30. And we will be focusing on teen dating violence because February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, for those of you who may not have known. And we're orange because orange is the color of TDV awareness. So we will be back in everyone's screen a month from now on February 25th from 6 to 6:30. And that is all that I have. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We only went 1 minute over. Our goal is always 30 minutes, and both me and Adonis are chatty patties, and we had really great information from Pablo and Daisy. We appreciate them coming on our show and telling us about what volunteering means to them and how you can volunteer with them. And also remember that we volunteer at Concilio and we have opportunities for individuals to want to volunteer with us as well. So if you're interested, reach out to Concilio. You can volunteer at any of our events. You can volunteer within our programs. And the opportunities change from month to month as we get engaged with multiple different community events. So that's it for us.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good night. Take care.
Bye, guys.